straight from the horse's mouth. Our Neil Young News Report.
Smell the horse on this one.
With this week's update from thrasherswheat.org, here's Thrasher.
Hey, Thrasher here with this week's Neil Young News, and we've got lots of wheat here. The Alchemy 2012 tour has wrapped up. Neil Young Crazy Horse has galloped across North America from west to east, north to south, and has come to a conclusion here. The tour wound up in Atlantic City. Neil Young Crazy Horse performed a benefit concert for Hurricane Sandy, and this is a sold-out general admission concert at the casino down there in Atlantic City. It raised several $100,000 for the American Red Cross, so doing their part to try and help out. So that was a great thing to see and hear. Sort of an interesting sort of side note on this is that Neil Young was invited to perform at the upcoming All-Star benefit concert for Hurricane Sandy, scheduled for Madison Square Garden in New York City with a bunch of folks like Bruce Springsteen. But Neil decided to opt out of that approach. He decided to do his own thing. And in an interview, he was asked about this, and we'll just read you the quote back on this from an interview in Spinner magazine, where they asked him about not joining the All-Star lineup. And Neil Young said, well, the All-Star lineup is great. It's fantastic. But whether I was part of it or not wouldn't have made any difference at all, other than to just be somebody's recognition of somebody. It wouldn't have made any difference in the amount of money. The idea is to raise money. That's what it is. That's the idea. So by doing my own thing and letting the star-studded lineup at the Garden do their own thing, I'm creating more on the outside in the grassroots way. We're going to go right down where some of the damage was, close up, so you can drive around and see what went down there and understand really what it is that we're trying to do, trying to fight, and trying to clean up, and who we're really trying to help out. These are real people. This isn't a television show. There's nothing wrong with the television show, but I'm personally not crazy about television shows. I'd rather see people there and talk to people like you and talk to other people and bring awareness to it in other ways. We need to get footage out there of what the shoreline looks like today on television instead of the, however you pronounce, Kardashians. And that's sort of a direct kind of quote there. And so that, in essence sort of sums it up. Just take it right down there. This isn't going to be in some big arena with all-stars, in the middle of New York City, although, of course, New York City was impacted by Hurricane Sandy for sure, no doubt about it. But this is right down there on the waterfront. So during the show, Neil said, take a look. Take a look at the beach. Go down there. Take a look so you can remember. Now the concert itself, let's get to that. The concert, did not have the whole Rust Never Sleeps stage props kind of setup at all. This was just the band and their regular equipment up there on stage before a GA crowd. All reports are that this was just, a full-on, full-bore, just rock-out kind of scene. None of the theatrics that we've been seeing here over the past few weeks, which have all been great, of course. And I think everybody just loves to see the horse in this kind of setting. Recall Bill Graham, the famous rock and roll promoter. I mean, he once called Neil Young Crazy Horse the third greatest garage band in rock and roll history. So that's certainly a great quote, and I think Bill was asked, well, if Crazy Horse is number 3, who's number 1? And Bill Graham said, the Rolling Stones. They're the greatest garage band in the world. Well, I think after seeing this, our opinion is, you see Crazy Horse, you see them in this kind of setting. Crazy Horse, they really are the equivalent of North America's Rolling Stones, and I'll have that discussion with anybody who'd like to have that. So the question before the concert was whether we would hear a performance of Like a Hurricane at a hurricane benefit performance. Well, sure enough, for the encore, Neil Young and Crazy Horse pulled out Like a Hurricane. Just an amazing, phenomenal performance, very similar to what we saw here on the tour. And it was done in all of the sincerity that you could bring to this kind of a situation where, I guess, not trying to be exploitive of the song and the situation, but really using it to if you will, create the almost the whole scene of what was going down, just a few weeks back when Hurricane Sandy was hitting, where you had the lightning and the thunder and the wind and the rain and all of these elements just storming down on the stage. It was almost as if we were back into Hurricane Sandy. So anyway, this is really the essence of Neil Young. Up there with Crazy Horse, I think we all know about all these different periods and genres and styles that he's gone through over the years, all the different bands, all the different styles, electric, acoustic, and so forth. But really, if you really had to boil it down to what is the essence of Neil Young, it is these moments on stage with Crazy Horse where they are just, raw, loose, ragged, and really just acting like they're in a garage, and it's terrific. So at this point, I think we'll wrap up. Check out these interview links. We've got a lot of videos. We've got a lot of photos on the site, thrashersweek.org, for you to check out. One thing we'll just mention here in sort of closing on this, Neil really, spoke out about exactly what's going on here. And it'll be interesting to see when the All-Stars do their thing in Madison Square Garden, how much is really spoken about what is really going on in terms of the awareness of the whole situation. And we'll just close out here with another quote from that same interview in Spinner, where he's discussing climate change in very frank terms. And Neil says, quote, "So it's a choice that everybody has to make themselves. My choice is based on the fact that I don't think there's anything wrong with cleaning up the atmosphere, whether it ends global warming or stops it or slows it down, whatever. There's just nothing wrong with it. It's better to be clean and be safe in case there's some massive discovery where everybody says it's definitely global warming." So there you go. All right, well, we'll wrap it up there. Everybody can check everything out. We've got the podcast. It's linked over there in the far right-hand sidebar of Thrashers Week, and check that out. And we'll just say, keep on rocking in the free world.